few factors that I consider when I'm optimizing Amazon DSP, and I want to cover one by one and how I look at things and how I think about things relating to those different factors. The first one is look-back windows. This is a very dangerous one, and I think it's very important to understand your look-back windows. The reason I say this is the way that Amazon DSP charges you is based on impressions. So if Amazon serves you an ad on a page, it will say, I already served you an ad. That's an impression. Now I'm going to charge you for it. That's how Amazon charges you. It's not like Amazon PPC, which is a cost per click based, where when someone clicks, you get charged. This is actually when someone views, you get charged. And it could be somewhere on the page. No one really looks at it. But since it loaded up on the page, you're now getting charged. So the reason look-back windows are so important is if you're targeting a very short look-back window, you're basically serving ads to someone who's already been there, could have potentially converted really quickly, and then you're spending money on them because even if they're not clicking, they're still being served the ad, and if they're being served the ad, they're being charged, and then as a result, spending money with no additional sales that you would have already gotten. One place I noticed this happening a lot is on the retargeting campaigns. So sometimes agencies will set very short look-back windows for retargeting, and what happens is sales that already would have happened start getting captured. And then as a result, ROAS looks really good, everything looks amazing, but when you take the actual total spend on DSP and the total additional sales generated in your entire account, you notice that something's not adding up. Look-back window could be one of them. Another thing to think about when looking at look-back windows is the life cycle of your product. So for me, I have a supplement that lasts about 60 days. So is it wise for me to target in 30 days? If someone already bought my product but hasn't purchased again in the last 30 days, they're probably still going through my product. And so that's another way to look at look-back windows, and then separating look-back windows and extracting audiences. So things like looking at the last 365 days of people who purchased my product but haven't purchased in the last 90 days. So extracting those last 90 days, negating that audience. Same with people who viewed my product in the last 60 days but haven't purchased from me or my competitors in the last 30 days. Is that 30-day audience actually appropriate or not? So that's one of the factors to consider when you're optimizing your Amazon DSP. Look-back windows are very important. Next, I want to cover frequency. How many times the ads get served to audience in one day? So it could be 8 times a day, 20 times a day. The only real thing I found here is split testing. And usually if you're noticing not good results, try going in one direction of let's do less frequent. And if I'm getting really good results, I'm saying let's go more frequently. The reason I do this is because when I'm going less frequently, I'm spending less money, and hopefully that improves the equation where, ROAS is sales divided by spend. So if I'm spending less, ROAS looks bigger. And if I'm performing really well and ROAS is good, and I notice that click-through rate is good and detail page view is good, I'm then trying to serve more ads to more people, hoping that I can capture more sales. So that's the way that I look at frequency. It's something definitely you should be split testing. And again, if it's working, increase the frequency, spend more money, hopefully get more sales. If it's not working, scale it back, show it less frequently. And again, if you try one thing and it doesn't work, you can always go back. All about split testing frequency. The third factor is supply sources. This is a crucial one because where your ad gets served makes all the difference. When it's served on Amazon, like Amazon.com, whether it's mobile or desktop, it's probably going to convert 10 times better than if it's served on a random publisher site. That's because people who are on Amazon most likely have a much higher buyer intent than someone who's just looking to read the news or browsing a random publisher site. And as you start your campaigns, you should be looking at supply sources and have granular segmentation of Amazon, off of Amazon, and maybe different segments inside off of Amazon, so you can understand which segments are working better, which supply sources are working better. If you look at the click-through rate and it's not performing really well on different supply sources, maybe it's time you scale those down, or maybe it's time you turn them off. And don't worry, I'm going to explain the different KPIs in Amazon DSP and which ones you should keep an eye out on based on which funnel segment you're in. Next is audience, and that's the one that you can get the most creative with. It's where you can pull audiences, whether it's in-market or contextual, demographic, or you can pull from your competitors or from complementary products and start targeting those people. So Audiences is something that you should always be split testing and optimizing for, because certain audiences will perform better than others. And the better your segmentation is, the better you will perform. Generally, I like to segment by price. So more expensive or less expensive. And one thing you should keep in mind is you need at least 1,000 visitors a month in that audience for the audience to run. So if you create an audience and only 500 people visit that audience, maybe the audience is a certain one single product and only 500 people visit that product in that month, Amazon won't process it. It's just not enough data for Amazon to use it as an audience. So be careful of that. And finally, creatives. Creatives is massive. It's what people are gonna see. From what I've seen, responsive e-commerce works really good, but you can always get creative, especially when it comes down to holiday seasons, maybe Valentine's Day or Mother's Day or Prime Day and whatnot. You can have custom creatives created specifically for those days, and something that's probably gonna be more eye-catching. Make sure you are split testing creatives. Make sure you're trying the different types of creatives on Amazon, and specifically different creatives for different days. These are the 5 things that I'm looking at in terms of Amazon DSP. There's obviously a lot more, but these are kind of the main ones that I focus on. It's important to understand what each does. It's important to always split test and get data and then make decisions based on that data.